whole lot better. Thank you, everyone. And I am so pleased to sit down with the CEO of EQtainment, Erica Buxton, and just learn a little bit about not only EQtainment, but really about who you are and the path you've been on to end up here at Project Literacy Lab. So before we sort of dive into your past, I'd actually like to just you to share a little bit about EQtainment. We've heard a lot about the importance of social emotional learning, but you guys are coming at it from a really different place, which is exciting.
Yeah, so EQtainment was founded to really take all of this 40 years of research and really boil it down into really simple and entertaining, fun ways for parents and teachers to build those important life skills in their kids. So we do that through physical products like our board game, books, stuffed animals, and then we also have our digital products. So we have our content, we have a kids show, we have music, all bundled into an app that's really easy and creates a customized content pathway for kids to learn these skills. Cool.
And lately you've had some pretty cool stuff happen. I believe you've had Michael Strahan get involved. I think we've learned some yoga moves from him. What else is going on? Give us some of the highlights.
Yeah, so we've had a number of celebrities that have come on the show and been amazing partners and done some fun things on the show. So I invite you to download the app and check it out. You may see Michael Strahan, you may see Nick and Vanessa Lachey, and a number of other celebrities across the board, which has been really fun. Or check out our YouTube channel. You may find them there too. And then most recently, actually, we just signed a deal with ChickfilA, and we are currently, if you go to your local ChickfilA, and all of their kids' meals. And so we're really excited about that partnership.
How many meals will that be about?
We'll do somewhere around 6 million meals.
Just for interest's sake, how did that come about? Because I mean that's like a dream scenario for any company.
Yeah.
Not just a startup. Any company would kill for that opportunity.
So ChickfilA was really looking for values-based toys that were belief agnostic, so that would just help instill values in any kid. And so they came across us at Toy Fair, and we're really excited by what we were doing. And 2 years later, we are in their kids' meals. So it's been an amazing process. They have an amazing design team. It's been a great partnership. They've really gone above and beyond to really make it happen. So.
Wow. And what about how did you get all these celebrities involved? I mean, this is very rare, I think, for not only a startup, but also a startup that is in entertainment and education to get so much publicity and so much help from so many big names.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, well, first of all, celebrities that have kids that use our products, that's an easy sell. A lot of them love our products and do really believe in what we're doing and use it, see it at home every single day. And then there's so many celebrities out there that just really believe in social and emotional skills, and they've either impacted their lives or made them who they are today, and so really believe in the importance of building them at a young age. Nice. So it's been amazing to see people step out and want to participate.
Cool. And let's take it a step closer to Project Literacy Lab. We know that there's almost 1 billion people that can't read across the world, and your company is really taking, as I said, a unique approach to tackling illiteracy and closing the literacy gap there. I'm just wondering how you guys think about social emotional learning and its connection to literacy.
Yeah, and so I think the way we think about it is when kids have those important skills of being able to focus, being able to really have that motivation and grit and that problem-solving aspect, it really sets them up to be successful in what they're trying to learn. So it really decreases behavioral issues, makes them more aware in the classroom, and really gives them the right mindset to learning. So whether that be learning to read or learning other things, I think it's a great way to build a foundation for just learning in general.
Great. All right, so now let's change gears a little bit. Sticking with the learning theme, but let's check out your learning in the beginning, because what did you go to school for? Was it product development?
It was chemical engineering.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that's clear connection: chemical engineering and kids' toys.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you ended up there in chemical engineering, and when you were in school for that, where did you think you were going to head?
Yeah. So as a student in high school, I was really good at math and science, and I had a lot of people just said, you should be an engineer. That's a great pathway. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. I went to a little engineering camp over the summer, thought it was great, and then found this amazing engineering school in Indiana called Rose-Hulman, and fell in love with it, and so ended up there. While I was studying engineering, I really thought I was going to change the world in the pharmaceutical industry. I really wanted to work in research and development and try to find new drugs to help change lives that way, which I did for a couple of years and really enjoyed that, but then felt like there was more out there, and also got a little lonely in the lab, so I worked in labs quite a bit. So then decided, I used to wear a lab coat and safety glasses in my office, which was very different than today. And so decided to go back to business school and just try to broaden my horizons and see where that took me.
Interesting. And you were at Eli Lilly, was it?
Yes.
And what kind of stuff were you working on?
A lot of different stuff. I was working on everything from stuff that impacted diabetes. Lilly does a lot around diabetes. I worked on an anti-anxiety medicine and an obesity medicine.
So completely unimpactful stuff.
Very.
But it wasn't enough.
Right.
Amazing. And so you went to business school. Did you know what kind of impact you wanted to be driving, or was it a journey?
It was a journey. I think originally I thought I was going to go back into healthcare because I felt like there was a lot of purpose there. And then at business school I became really passionate around the consumer space. And so felt a calling to kind of move that direction, which is what kind of led me eventually to where I am today, but through a little bit different pathway too.
And all right, so we'll get through it slowly, but out of business school, you sign up with Mattel, was it? Or
BCG.
BCG, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. Because that's impact, or what was the logic there? Give us the logic there.
I think the logic there was coming out of business school, I didn't want to have to decide what I wanted to do, and so BCG seemed to be like a good place to go, not have to decide, and actually get to do a lot of stuff. So I like to say it was like business school year 3 and 4 that really gave me an opportunity to explore more avenues of what I wanted to do.
Nice. And then Mattel.
Then Mattel.
Okay,
yes.
now we're getting closer to the toys and kids market.
Yes.
And what was Mattel like?
Mattel was fun. I mean, I joined. I mean, it's how not to have fun at a toy company. I mean, it's your desk is surrounded by toys. You're surrounded by focus groups of kids and people that just love kids and toys. And so it was, if you needed a break, you just go play a game. So no, Mattel was a great experience. Before I had kids, and even more so when I did have kids, I became a very cool mom.
All right, and let's dive into being a mom. You're a mom and you're CEO of a startup, which we find a lot more moms as CEOs and young parents as CEOs diving into the startup space with I don't know if it's no fear or what it is, a calling. What was it for you?
For me, I think it was actually trying to seek a little bit of a sense of balance. And I know that sounds a little insane, and I think a lot of people thought I was insane. But I found that in the corporate world, there was very much, there was still that FaceTime aspect. There was a lot of pressure to kind of be in meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And although, Mattel had a daycare on site and there was a lot of ability to be with my kids, it didn't give me the flexibility I really wanted. And so as everybody thought I was completely insane, I took the jump into startup, and like I said, I don't know how many hours I work. My day's very fluid between me, kids, work, and keep it in rotation. But it works. So you find a way to kind of pack it all in, and somehow it feels like it's working better than it did before. So.
I mean, it sounds like you got it handled pretty well. What would be some tips for other young parents or parents who are diving into the startup space?
Yeah, we actually have a great song for that on our app. It's called "Go with the Flow."
I want that playing right now in the background. Can you?
Yeah.
Do you mind singing a verse or two?
I do not sing. But I invite you to download the app and check it out. It's actually my kid's favorite song. It is my kid's favorite song, and so we listen to it a lot. But it's got the right message of, roll with the punches, go with the changes, be flexible. Like that's kind of the whole chorus. And I think that is kind of the theme of my life, is that I've got 3 young kids. I've got a company that's firing on all cylinders, and how do you balance all of it? You just kind of have to roll with it, and not try to get too fired up or too down about one one thing or another.
Along that journey, because that's an amazing thing to learn, did you ever not have that mindset?
I still think I have to remind myself about that, because I think, especially when you're an entrepreneur not surrounded by a huge company of people, it's much more of a roller coaster ride. And so I think there's definitely days that I think my kids keep me grounded and remind me that what's really important. And then there's days that, it might be my husband reminding me what's really important, and sometimes it's just me having to take a minute and kind of step away and kind of re-ground myself. But yeah, it's not perfect.
What does a really bad day look like for you?
It always starts with not a lot of sleep, and then kids being a little crazy in the morning. Hopefully we still make it out the door on time, which is good start the day. But no, I think for me a bad day is when I feel like I've let somebody down, and so I think sometimes that's a hard thing, especially as an entrepreneur, when you've got so many external pressures and people relying on you to kind of make things happen. And so hopefully I don't do that often, but I try not to. But I think those are the days when I'm getting in bed and I feel like I just didn't quite, finish what I wanted to do that day.
Mm-hmm. And how do you snap out of it?
I think, again, it's just refocusing on what's really important and remembering what I'm really trying to do on a larger vision, and really that I'm here to try to change kids' lives and my own kids or somebody else's kids, and, trying to look at the bigger picture, which isn't always easy. But
yeah. Well, you make it sound easy, which is a good thing. I'm wondering, when you look at your kids and you look at what you're doing, how much of your day-to-day do you pull on your own experience and use your children as the archetypes or as the end goal?
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting because I often joke with our mobile development team, and I'm like, well, I know it's an N of 1, but let me tell you about what happened last night. Yeah. So I feel like our founder has 4 kids, I have 3 kids, so we have a full focus group right at the office. So there is a lot of that. The reason I took the job even is I brought the board game home and played it with my kids and saw the instant impact that it had. And so I think, they're in the show, they love the products, they live and breathe kind of what I do, which is really fun. So yeah, no, they're what it's all about.
Amazing. It's very rare that you can bring your children into your work. I assume at none of your other jobs you were able to do that in quite the same way.
Well, they were toy testers at Mattel.
Okay,
so.
all right.
But
not at Eli Lilly.
Not at Eli Lilly. So, but no, much more to extent. They're actually in the show. They're in music videos. They're test case scenarios across the board. So they're fully into Q Wunder.
I love it. So, and where are you guys headed as a company? Right now you, to me, are about to skyrocket. You already are doing incredibly well. You've got such a following and excitement by what you're doing. But where do you go from here?
Yeah. No, I think where we're trying to go from here is trying to figure out how to get our products into the hands of kids that really, it can impact the most. And so we know how much they can really change children's lives. And just, as we always say, small changes in the trajectory could lead to big changes later on. And so how do we get it into those kids? And so whether that be figuring out a way to expand through schools or other programs that we can really provide it to all kids, and not just the ones that can pay for our app, for the products. So I think that's the goal, is to figure out how to broaden it.
I love it. So how can this room and the people online help you do that? What's the 1 or 2 or 3 things that you need most?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing we're looking for is partners to grow into education and to other opportunities that could get it into more kids' hands and provide them with the content and the music and everything that can really help. And then go to ChickfilA. Get your kids' meal, try out the products, and hopefully it'll lead to a purchase long term. So
amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit down with you at Project Literacy Lab, and we are just beyond honored to have you a part of this cohort, and cannot wait for what happens next with EQtainment. So congratulations on all the great news, and we will be all going to Chick-fil-A to get those Happy Meals. Thanks so much, Erica.
Thank you.
Give me a hug.